is a resolution authorizing the extension of the contract for electrical services, which was the same situation as the plumbing services, but just with the electrical company. We again would like to extend those contracts because we did get very favorable rates for those services. Resolution number 2023-236 is a resolution authorizing the Township of Willingboro to award a vending machine contract. We do desire to acquire vending machine services as a fair and open contract. There was one proposal received from RDS Vending LLC, which was compliant with the advertised specifications, and we are asking the council to award a contract to RDS Vending LLC. Resolution number 2023-237 is a resolution authorizing the payment of bills for October 2023. And those are all of the items that we are asking for you to take formal action on this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. I just want to update on what's going on with the Zoom. Okay, we're on now. Okay, perfect. All right, we're opening up for public comment for agenda items only. If you have any questions or concerns for agenda items only, you have 2 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. Is there anyone for public comment on agenda items only? Do you see anyone host on Zoom?
Not at this moment, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Public comment for agenda items is now closed. Madam Clerk, we'll start with the ordinances.
Ordinance 2023-20. Ordinance amending section 1 of the bond ordinance number 2022-6 of the Township of Willingboro in the County of Burlington, New Jersey, finally adopted June 21st, 2022, in order to amend the description of the project to include Babbitt Lane.
And this is a first reading, right, Madam?
First reading, I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
You're looking for public.
Public hearing is now open.
No public hearing.
Public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so no. It's okay.
Looking for motion. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Worthy, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. We have ordinance 21.
You have it? Yeah, I don't know. Energy savings obligation refunding bond ordinance of the Township of Willingboro in the County of Burlington, New Jersey, providing for the acquisition, construction, and installation of energy conservation improvements, appropriating not to exceed $3,863,578, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $3,863,578 energy savings obligation refunding bonds to provide for such improvements.
This is also first reading.
First reading.
Can I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman Worthy. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. I make a motion for a consent agenda of resolution 2023-2029 through Resolution 2023-237.
Second.
Moved by Mayor McIntosh, seconded by Councilwoman Worthy. Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda of Resolution 2023-2029 through Resolution 2023-237.
Second.
Moved by Mayor McIntosh, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. We can move on to the treasurer report. I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman Worthy. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes from October 3rd, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Worthy, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. All right, we will bypass the municipal clerk's updates until next meeting. Does any council have anything for unfinished business? Or township manager, anything for unfinished business? That's all right. Anything? All right. Moving on to new business. You can start, Mr. Harris.
So there are two items that I wanted to present to you this evening for discussion and further consideration into the future. The first one being an ordinance establishing requirements for privately owned salt storage, privately owned properties to establish salt storage and other solid de-icing materials. This ordinance would establish requirements for the storage of salt and other solid de-icing materials on properties that are not owned or operated by the municipality, including residents in Willingboro Township. This ordinance was kind of being promoted by the New Jersey Department of Education, NJDEP, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. All of the as a means to protect the environment, public health and safety and welfare, in protecting our stormwater from excessive salts and de-icing. One of the requirements that have been imposed upon municipality in the new stormwater requirements is that you remember when salt trucks would go and salt the road in the wintertime and you would see clumps of salt remaining in the road. Well, we are now required by law within 24 hours to go and scoop up and remove those clumps of salt so they no longer get washed into the drain. So they are kind of imposing the same requirements or looking to impose the same requirements on private properties, mainly like developments, business developments that will just have salt and things out there for when it's time to be used, just to put them in some type of structure that would protect them from the weather and being melted and put into the storm drain systems. And then a second item that is being presented for your future consideration is a tree removal replacement ordinance, also being introduced, promoted by the NJDEP, Approving this ordinance would establish requirements for tree removal and replacement in Willingboro Township to reduce soil erosion and pollutant runoff. It would also promote infiltration of rainwater into the soil and protect the environment, again, public health, safety, and welfare. And adopting this ordinance to establish the requirements for tree removal and replacement in Willingboro Township. I did announce that the county is giving away free trees to municipalities in Willingboro that are interested. We will be getting 10 free trees, 5 red oaks that we intend to plant along JFK Way. Yes, we'll get there. Yes,
Oh, you were saying both?
I was saying Boulevard.
Oh.
Yes, and Ms. Boulding keeps reminding me. So I thank her for keeping me intact. But we do plan on planting 5 of the red oaks along JFK Way in front of the JFK Center in the tree line off of the fence to aid in that process and also kind of fill in that vacant space that's there and beautify a little bit more that area along JFK Way. And we are also receiving 5 dogwood trees that we are going to plant in Mill Creek Park to replace some of the dead trees that we're taking out of there. So again, we are going to do our part to enhance and protect our environment and beautify our community. And those are the 2 items that we can discuss for future implementation.
Does anyone have any comments or questions for Mr. Harris concerning?
Just a question regarding the trees. Are these trees like for commercial properties? Are they where? I know you mentioned a few areas that you're gonna plant them. And are these for residents as well? Like what kind of trees are these?
They're for the township. And again, there are going to be 5 red oaks and I'm not sure on the stage of maturity. So I don't know if they're, but those are for the township's use wherever they decide to use them.
Okay. Thank you.
Just in terms of the salt storage, that is being pushed by DEP in every town. It's something that, you know, I've reviewed it. It's consistent with what's being done in other towns, and it's an integral component, I think, of the stormwater management. Because runoff with salt in it obviously is detrimental to the stormwater management. So
Right.
I didn't see anything in terms of that ordinance that really we should change or consider changing. It seems to make sense. In terms of the tree, I did circulate an email that kind of broke out some of the issues. I mean, just to be clear, it's clear the ordinance covers residents.
Right.
If a resident was going to remove a tree that's 2 inches or better, that's on the property, or 6 inches or better, that's next to a street, they would have to go through an application process. The way it's worded right now, if the resident's removing less than 4 trees over a 5-year period, they wouldn't have to replace it, which there are obviously some costs in replacing. There would be an exemption for that. There is application fees that range from $50 up to, if the tree's over 33 inches, which that's a pretty good sized tree, that would be like $175. But I sent the memo out just kind of to identify some of the issues and things that the committee or council might want to consider in terms of going ahead with the tree ordinance. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Crowe? Okay, but as we're talking about stormwater now, we've heard a lot throughout this meeting. I know a lot of residents remember the flooding that happened in 2018. So what's happening in New Jersey is that as there's more development, we're losing some of our areas for the water to run off. So what Mr. Harris is talking about today is really us trying to mitigate that. So Willingboro is doing their job and trying to be environmentally and sustainable. And also we are in the process of undergoing a feasibility study to consider whether the stormwater utility is right for us. So that is in the process. You will hear more about that throughout the next couple of months. In a couple of meetings, there'll be some conversations online and in this meeting. So just so if you're wondering, there is a lot of stormwater talk today, but that is Willingboro. We're trying to make sure that we're being responsible to mitigate any, flooding that could be excessive. Anything else for new business? All right. Moving on to public comment. Public comment is now open. You have 4 minutes. Please state your name for the record. Any concerns or questions for council or the township manager? Please come to the microphone or raise your hand on Zoom.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, my name is Debbie Price, 10 Enmore Lane, Willingboro, New Jersey. As Executive Director of the Underground Railroad Museum of Burlington County, I stand before you on behalf of the Board of Directors, our support team, and in memorial of Louise Calloway, also a former Willingboro resident. We thank you for your support in enabling us to provide a platform to continue to tell the story for the silenced and the erased, his stories, her stories, and their stories, as well as give voice to the unfound and unarchivable. We continue to tell the stories by way of tours, both museum and walking, collaborations and presentations for state, corporate, private, and various educational audiences, such as the Prosecutor's Office, Subaru Corporation, Burlington Stores, New Jersey Historical Commission, Rowan College, and more. We invite you to join and participate in some of our upcoming events. Notably, on December 2nd, we have our Founders Day, which is going to be at the Madison Restaurant in Riverside. On December 29th, we have it's African American Historical and Cultural Bus Tour, a 10-stop tour throughout Burlington County and Camden County. We're working in concert with Academy Bus Lines on the bus tour. And in February 2024, we will be honoring 6 iconic Burlington County's iconic historians for Black History Month. We will be honoring Franco Harris, Eugene Stafford, James Chaney, Chief Peyton Flournoy, Carl Lewis, and the 618 Battalion. Does anybody need additional understanding of who those recipients are? But they're all Burlington County's own. And especially in June 2024, we're having an experience of a lifetime, which is going to enable participants to learn and experience the Underground Railroad from a freedom walker's perspective. This immersive activity will enable them to learn history articulated from a broad-based coalition of organizations and storytellers. This is going to be a 3.5-mile walk, which will begin in Rancoca State Park and go all the way to Timbuktu. I thank you for your time and continued support. As a small token of our appreciation, we would like to give each of the council members a lapel pin from the museum.
You can take a lapel, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Mrs. Price, is there any, if others are looking for more information, who do they contact?
Feel free to get in contact with me.
Ms.
we
Debbie
do-
Price, for the record. Okay.
Yes, we also have brochures for
Okay.
anyone that has interest, and we also have our calendar of events
Okay.
for 2023.
Any website or?
Yes, we're in the process of updating our website. Yeah, but most definitely, we'd like for everyone to come out and visit the museum.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of great activities that are going on.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Thank you.
See, okay. William Weston, 44 Bosworth Lane. And I just had some announcements and a question. First, there will be a neighborhood watch meeting this Thursday at 6:30 PM. We had some confusion on the time, but I did confirm that it's 6:30 PM. And the residents will have the ability to ask questions directly to the police that if they have any questions of what's going on in the neighborhood. Also, tomorrow, there will be a WMUA meeting. And if you go to WMUA.info, you can get the credentials to join the meeting. And that will be at 6 PM. And I will put on my NAACP hat, and there will be an advocacy day at the Burlington County Library. And that's so advocating for voter engagement and informed voting. There also will be, on that day, there will be a conversation about critical race theory and the New Jersey Amistad curriculum. And the candidates invited to this event are the state Senate candidates and state assembly for legislative district 7 and 8, the county clerk, and the commissioners up for election. And there will be refreshments also served at 11:45 to 12:35. And the time for that is 10 AM to 2 PM. And as a resident, I did have a question about the recent break-ins. And has any suspects been picked up, or have they arrested anybody? Just to update on what's been going on with that. And that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weston. Host, can you, anyone online?
Yes, Mayor V. Clay.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
I represent the Willingboro Public Library. Just want to remind everyone of the
State
services
your
that,
name. Ms. Clay, please state your name
oh,
and address for the record, please.
sure. Valerie Clay, 11 Shetland Lane. And I'm attending the meeting as a representative of the Willingboro Library Board. And here just to remind the community of the services that we have, and that the Willingboro Library is a community resource that's going beyond just books. We're committed to providing digital and tangible knowledge for anyone who needs that. And we have a plan to communicate and collaborate and help with the growth and adaptation for stewardship and sustainability. We're open evenings and Saturday. Please remember, we have books, hotspots, Chromebooks, Kindles, ebook lending, whether it's in person or remote. And this was new for me, telemed and health literacy, as well as career readiness. We'd like to see our facility utilized even more, and just welcome to our Willingboro Library. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Clay. Anyone else online?
I believe that's all, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Public comment is now closed. There was really nothing to address this time. Oh, suspect, I apologize, Mr. Weston. Mr. Harris, can you just give an update to the best?
So,
Make
Yes, Mayor. Our police department is actively investigating those break-ins. And other than that, I really can't divulge the status of those investigations because we do not want to jeopardize any of the work that they have or any of the progress they're making in their investigation. But I will tell you, they're actively investigating those break-ins.
Thank you. And any updates would be provided in a press release.
Yes.
Okay. Anything, did I miss anything else? All right. Moving on to council comment. Does any council have any comments?
Always.
Always.
Just want to thank everyone for coming out. Over the weekend, I was told that during council comments, I had to make mention of someone's birthday that happened yesterday, and if I didn't, you know, it may be an issue. So Kevin, I want to say happy belated birthday. Also want to say thank you for the great job that you and your team did with the Clean Communities program last Saturday. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it, but I heard it was a great success. So kudos again on such hard work. That's the only reason I mentioned your birthday. I had an opportunity to attend a school board forum that was hosted by several organizations, one being ATAP, Neighborhood Watch, Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, along with several others. And what was great is to see each of these organizations come together. And I believe this is the first time they've come together to do the event. And it was a wonderful, successful event. As Mr. Weston mentioned, there will be a social action advocacy day on Saturday over at the Burlington County Library. Once again, I believe those organizations are also a part of that initiative. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I wanted to say thank you also to the organizations for the school board forum in the spirit of being one willing borough and coming together. It was wonderful seeing so many of the candidates, 9 of the 16 were present. It was very collegial, it was cordial. The questions were well moderated, so people had an opportunity to share. So it was nice just seeing so many engaged community members come out to find out more about the candidates and to be able to be there to get some questions answered. I also wanted to remind everyone the trunk or treat is coming up. That is going to be on Saturday, October 8th, which is also the first day of early voting. So just want to remind everyone that 28. What did I say? Oh, 28th. Thank you. I love to see how we help one another. Oh, wow. Thank you. October 28th is trunk or treat, and it is also the first day of early voting. So make sure that you go out and rock your vote at the library if you want to participate in early voting. Those who participate and vote by mail, make sure you get your ballots back in. And of course, Tuesday, November 7th is election day. So just remind everyone, this is an important opportunity to exercise that muscle to vote. However you vote, just make sure you get out there and vote. And that's all I have. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Perone.
Sure, thank you. I just want to thank Ms. Price for coming out and sharing us with the Underground Railroad Museum. I'm looking forward to attending, and I have jotted down some of the dates. So I want to thank you for bringing that information to Willingboro. And just, I know I can bring it up at the next council meeting, but it just came to my thought when we spoke about the school board forum. I was approached at the forum from one of the residents that seemed to have an issue, well, being, I'll put it like this, he was interested in applying something called like a no-knock of Willingboro. And he asked if we could have that discussion. I forgot to bring it up on the new business, but basically what that is, there's been some harassment from solicitors knocking on doors and about solar panels and a bunch of different things. So I understand there are other neighboring communities that have issued a no-knock ordinance. And so I wanted to see if we could explore that and see what that looks like. That's all I have for council comment, but thank you.
Madam Clerk, can we just add that
I guess it's
for
new business.
discussion,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
we'll look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Permits and all that.
All right.
Okay, and I'd just like to add, considering that we do have election on November 7th, of next month, next month. The council meeting will be November 8th. It will be Wednesday instead of Tuesday, at 7 at the same time, same place. So I just wanted to, make that announcement. And we do have early voting, as Councilwoman Worthy said, until October 28th until November 5th, and that's at the Willingboro Public Library. And make sure you got to vote November 7th. And I do want to give another kudos to our friends of our library. I see a lot of show up. Would you like to stand? Can you please stand, and all the friends of the library? Yeah, look, come on. No, we do want to thank you. And then right after the meeting, please come up front for a picture and to receive the proclamation. And that's all I have. We do have a short executive session today.
Okay, so we're going into executive session to discuss potential license issues. So that's an exception under the Open Public Meetings Act. So we'll go a motion to go into closed session, executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Dr. Worthy. Roll call.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes.
Further action is going to happen after.
There will be no action. I'd like to make a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second,
Moved by Councilwoman Worthy, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Roll call, please.
Councilman Anderson,
yes.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Worthy.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Whitfield, and Mayor McIntosh.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you. It is
8:35.
8:35.
All right, good night.